So, firstly, a warm welcome to Dave. He very kindly comes and helps Bodhi Tree to set things up. We appreciate its good support for us. With the time now, just like to hear a couple of voices from you and a little bit about any reflection or any area of interest that you might have said or you might have heard. Anyone? 2 or 3 voices would be lovely. Anyone? Yes, please, yes.
We were kind of talking on the importance of kind of sitting still, that kind of meditation, and whether that's essential to spiritual progress, having that as part of the practice.
Yeah.
Yes, that was, I guess, maybe a question of you, because that was part of our discussion.
All right, lovely. So the importance of stillness, isn't it?
As in the importance of sitting meditation as a form of practice, being an essential part of overall practice.
Yes, yes. I hesitate to make formal practice too central. I have a little hesitation with it. Because for some people, it's not always possible, not their cup of tea, and then they might feel a bit excluded. I think there are periods and moments when the relationship to stillness is really precious. So looking at the inanimate world, then there's the image and there's this item and this item, and to be still in the stillness of things, just for a few minutes, is quite precious. And I think it's something we should remember, to have a love of the stillness of things. It also is a good support for the connectedness as well. Meaning, sometimes we feel a bit lonely or a bit isolated. Then we open up and say, no, hang on. There's all this I'm coexisting with. Sense this, as well as the communication with other. So it has a valuable place, but to be careful. Too much centralization. So people who can still explore the fullness of life and never see a meditation cushion in their life, basically.
But do you think people like that can sort of make spiritual advancement, so to speak?
Yes.
Yeah, you do, yeah?
Oh, yeah, no, yes, definitely. Yeah. And 50 years of teaching, I have a little experience of listening to people. So, yes. And people benefit enormously from the whole process of things that we are doing and other ways of doing it as well. So human beings, we're capable in a whole variety of ways, but you listen to what works for us. That's critical. Yeah. Anyone else, a voice? Yes, please.
One of the things that we got to is the benefits of the portability. We take it into whatever we're doing.
Yes.
And it supports you as you go along, that much.
Yes.
Sit outside people.
You touched upon the key word. It's like, we can talk central for a moment, centralization. The word dharma, this is overall concept I referred to earlier, which means, literally, it means that which gives support. That's what it means. So you got right to the heart, the kind of essence, that which gives support. So being here together gives support. The earth gives support to our body, environment there. We find ways to support our practice. We find ways to give support to other people. All of that is the Dharma. Dharma means that which gives support. And we need to recognize the different ways we receive support, and we give support, and we are supported. And, eh? You're smiling. Yeah, yeah. Lovely to hear from you. Nice. Spot on. Finally, another voice. Yes.
Yeah, we both deal with children quite quite different ways, and we were talking about how our practice sometimes can just let us take a step back and give us a bit more patience and a little bit more,
Yes.
on the reactivity, so that you can come into the situation in a much calmer way and
Yeah.
really deal with it
Yes.
calmer and more rational way, really.
Yeah. Really precious. And we shouldn't forget also that sometimes our children need some relief from us. And even if we're the most totally loving, kindest parents that ever walked on this earth, which we're probably not, but even if we are, they still need relief, because we, the parent or the parents, are the first gods in their life. And that relationship with them, especially as they get older, as we know, get into teens, they need their space. And they've got one foot outside the door, but they still need the parent or the guardian to be available and present as well. So parents and grandparents have relief from them, and actually they gives them relief from us. And there's both ways. Sometimes support is setting them free and still being available. That's the Dharma of support. And just a quick comment on this. Buddha spoke about, not in Freudian language, you can imagine. So Freudian language, sometimes. There is plenty of reflection and inquiry in the past, and particularly Freudian language around parents, particularly around parents and children. Parents, we're just one or two of the influencing factors in children's lives. We can't take full responsibility. But more importantly, the Buddha's reflection was another way of looking. So instead of going into all of the problems of the upbringing, which we may have had, and whether it's with one parent like me, I brought up by a single mum for the first years of my life, and others with both parents available, that we tried to be clear about what the issue was. So he gave 3 examples of problematic parents. One is the parents weren't available, so much into their career, into their work, into their social life, the children felt neglected. Another with the parents was a lot of pressure, anger, blame, fault finding, being put down, and all the long-term impact of negativity upon them. Another common kind of parenting. And another common problematic parenting was being very tight, mean, stingy. They're just not giving, all about me, this parent, but self, and just not really sharing or giving with the children. So the Buddha's comments on this was, know how your parents were, clearly. See what the central tendency was that's left it very problematic for you, and find ways to develop the complete opposite. If their parents were always absent, like my mother's parents were, they're always off here, there, and everywhere, really be available and present. If your parents were negative and hostile, really practice loving kindness. If your parents were tight, mean, stingy, holding back, really develop generosity. Good wisdom. Not easy, but good wisdom to it. So again, with us, sometimes we are tight, agitated, not connected. Mummy, 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 mummy. Oh, yes, 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 of course, I'm the mother. Or I'm the father, whatever it might be. And when it's a bit too much for our kids, when we're in the reactive, the power of apology. Take responsibility. And we lose the plot. All right, thanks for the good contributions. Very good practice. We liberate the children, and the children liberate us. Nice. All right, let's have a couple of 2 or 3 minutes quiet period together, and then I'll speak to you just for a few minutes, a little bit about the transition, and a little bit about